How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store has just kicked off 2 brand new sales, and I think this is gonna be a running gimmick that it seems like the PlayStation Store is doing this where every 2 weeks they just do a refresh of 2 new sales, and then like in that period of 2 weeks, you also have like a smaller sale like they did with the DLC sale, although that DLC sale was kind of big, but a lot of the deals were memes. But right now we have the double discount sale, which PlayStation Plus subscribers save double the savings. Obviously, if you buy anything from that sale, you should be a Plus subscriber. And then we also have the games under $20 sale, and both sales off the top looking to be pretty decent. The double discount sale has about 250 items on sale, while the games under $20 has just north of 300. So a lot of stuff to pick from. Obviously, we got a lot of deals that are a little bit typical, but you know, let's just go over the double discount sale first. I'm gonna go with the PlayStation Plus prices. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is 50% off for $19.99. This is of course upgraded for PlayStation 5, and it's pretty great on PlayStation 5. The game itself is really good. I go back to the same point I talk about over and over again, but the issue with this game was the atrocious map. Like, everybody I've talked to pretty much comes with the same opinion on that. The map is literally one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in a video game. I am not being, you know, crazy on that. It is legitimately terrible. I don't know what was going on there, but the gameplay itself is really good. If you play at a harder difficulty, there's a relative level of challenge in there as well. And again, visually and performance-wise, looks and plays great on the PS5. So strong recommendation on that, especially again if you have a PS5. Red Dead 2 is 68% off. That is the Ultimate Edition, so that's relatively cheap, all things considered. Red Dead 2 is a great game. The online isn't the best, but the single-player component is still very much worth playing. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, 25% off for base subscribers, and then for Plus subscribers, it is $9.99. Great game, just got upgraded for PS5. However, if you have a PS5, 60 frames per second is the real star of the show in the upgrade, so definitely go check it out. I mean, everybody's played Horizon Zero Dawn at this point, I feel, but yeah, Forbidden West is right around the corner. Now might be a good time to revisit the game as well, because I thought it was pretty great. I actually beat it on PC earlier this year, and I've been talking about why I wanted this upgrade on PS5 just so everybody can play the game at 60 frames per second. For whatever reason, it took a while to get that upgrade out the door, but it is available now, so all is right in the world as far as that game is concerned. Dying Light Platinum Edition, 50% off for $24.99. That's Dying Light with all the additional content. Yes, that might look a little bit pricey on the surface, but you're literally talking about loads and loads of DLC, so that's actually not too bad of a deal at all. What else? We got Mafia 2 Definitive Edition. You can get that for $9 and change, which is a pretty good discount. Like, Mafia 2, this Definitive Edition isn't anything special, but Mafia 2, the game itself, is great, so just from that standpoint, I would recommend you to check it out, because, yeah, Mafia 2 is an excellent game, and I definitely recommend people to play it. Assassin's Creed Valhalla deal, Watch Dogs Legion deal, you guys know the deal on that. Hunt Showdown is 60% off. At some point, I do think this is going to be a PlayStation Plus title, but that has not happened yet. Pretty good multiplayer game. Not too bad at all, especially if you have a couple of buddies that are going to pick up the game with you. What else? We got Tomb Raider, the Definitive Survivor Trilogy. That is 60% off for $19.99, which is actually a pretty good deal. That's Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider 3. Pretty great game. Shadow of the Tomb Raider falters a little bit from a story standpoint, but overall is still a pretty solid game, and you get the DLC there as well. So that is definitely beneficial given that game. Rise of the Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider were fine with the DLC. Shadow of the Tomb Raider had a pretty insane level of DLC, although when the PlayStation 4 version of Rise of the Tomb Raider came out, it was the 20-year celebration edition, so I kind of have a skewed perspective on that. But nevertheless, you guys get the deal. Kingdoms of Amalur: Ray Reckoning is 46% off. Definitely a good buy there. Great open-world action RPG that is very reminiscent of a traditional action game in terms of its playstyle, but yeah, great game there. BioShock The Collection is down to $9.99. It's BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite. Go buy it. They're great games. Infinite in particular, I have a very, very soft spot in my heart for. I just thought that was one of the best made first-person shooters I think I've ever played, and if you want to say mechanically that's the best FPS of all time, like, I'm not even gonna hate on you for that. Remember, BioShock Infinite was built around its single-player component, so it's not like you're picking it up to get this robust multiplayer component or anything like that, so you do have to take that with a grain of salt. Not really fair to compare that to more multiplayer-focused first-person shooters. Persona 5 Strikers is on sale, not a great discount on that. Hitman HD Collection is seeing a pretty significant 75% off discount. That would make it $15, and that's Hitman Blood Money as well as Hitman Absolution. I'm surprised at how, like, lowly people people think of Hitman Absolution, I thought it was a pretty good game. I get that everybody loves Blood Money, and yeah, Blood Money is probably the most iconic game in the franchise to a lot of people, but I thought Absolution was a pretty decent game as well, but it seems like I am in the minority on that one. What else we got? Darksiders Genesis, a bunch of Resident Evil games, Destroy All Humans, which I believe they just announced Destroy All Humans too, so that's kind of wild, and that is 40% off. Not a steep enough discount on that in my opinion. Maybe a little bit cheaper and it would be worth the pickup, but I think if you can get that for like 10 to 15, it'd be worth it, but that's still a little bit too pricey. Darksiders Genesis is on sale. Very, very good dungeon crawling action RPG. Honestly, I was not expecting that game to be a slam dunk, and maybe slam dunk is a little bit too much of a stretch with that, but it's a pretty well-made game. And the studio that made Darksiders Genesis, I believe it was Airship Syndicate. Those guys and gals are actually like low-key one of the more underrated studios in all of gaming. They're doing some good work over there, so good to see them continue doing what they're doing. What else? I know Ys 9 Monstrum Nox is on sale for 36 bucks. That's a very, very good deal. I would highly recommend that if you're looking for a new JRPG to play, although you should be busy with Tales of Arise right now. Come on, guys. You gotta be on that Tales of Arise grind. But yeah, that's a pretty good deal as well. I'm gonna jump into the under $20 sales. Just do want to mention Dishonored and Prey, the Arkane collection, is 50% off for $35. That's an okay deal. We've seen that like physically for like 20 bucks, so honestly, that's not even like that great of a deal, but those games are great, and they just, I mean, Deathloop's getting 10 out of 10, so like I was cautiously excited for Deathloop, but I was not expecting that game to be as big of a home run as it has been. So yeah, Arkane, like, one of the best studios in all of gaming. Unfortunately, now they are, of course, within the Microsoft family, and their future games will probably not be coming to PlayStation, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Alright, moving on from that, the games under $20 sale, a lot of good deals here as well. Risk of Rain 2 is $9.99 right away. That definitely stands out. Great game there. Metro Exodus is only $10.49. Unfortunately, that is the base game without the DLC, but man, it's been like what? It's been a couple of years since Metro Exodus came out. Yeah, that's actually kind of wild to think about. How quickly does the time go? But Metro Exodus is a very good game, also on PS5. Really, really good with the PS5 upgrade. Batman Arkham Knight, the base game, is down to just $4, bro. If you haven't played Batman Arkham Knight, people can meme on the Batmobile sections all they want, but $4 for Batman Arkham Knight is absolute lunacy. You should absolutely pick that up. Borderlands: A Handsome Collection, $9.99. It's Borderlands 1 and 2. Excuse me, it's Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. You gotta buy the other one for Borderlands 1. But Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel with all the DLC, very replayable. You know, I found Borderlands fun as a solo game as well. I know some people think you have to play it with a group of friends, and definitely the group of friends adds a layer to the experience, but at the same time, the comedy in Borderlands is going to resonate with anyone, no matter if you're playing alone or with a couple buddies. Mad Max is $4.99. This game is pretty good. It had the unfortunate fate of being released the same day as Metal Gear Solid 5, so yeah, that was going to be no mas for a lot of people, but the game itself, performance-wise, runs really, really well on even consoles, and that's actually crazy to think about. Mad Max and Metal Gear Solid 5 were two games that did really well performance-wise on the PlayStation 4 and just consoles in general, although it was on the PS3. But tangent aside, Mad Max is a pretty good game. Combat is quite good, and yeah, you have a large open world, although it is a barren open world at times, given that the game is set in a desert, so take that for what you will. But Mad Max for $5, I think that's a pretty good pickup. What's also a pretty good pickup is Darkest Dungeon, 80% off for $4.99. Another great deal here. Dead Cells, 35% off for $16.24. That's a game that retains in price quite often. Like, you're not seeing steep discounts on Dead Cells, and you could say justifiably so. The game is absolutely excellent, and I've played a lot of Metroidvanias. It's one genre I can get into pretty easily, but Dead Cells, man, that stood out to me as one of the best games in that genre. I love the aesthetic presentation of it. Combat was great, and a lot of diversity in the gameplay that actually does make you think quite a bit, and obviously a pretty challenging game in its own right. Go check out Dead Cells. 1624 is great. Frostpunk Console Edition is 70% off if you're a Plus subscriber. You save 10% more on this one. Great game, very, very dark. I mean, 11-bit Studios, I just think, wants to depress people with some of the games that they make. This War of Mine, Frostpunk 2 is coming up, and I'm sure that game is going to be very depressing as well, but it's also, at the same time, a game that I got super into, and these styles of games are usually not up my alley, but Frostpunk I thought was exceptionally great. Narita Boy's on sale, 40% off for $14.99. What else we got? Scribblenauts Mega Pack, $7.99. Other Side's on sale, $13.99. That's a game I totally forgot about. But yeah, that's on sale. They got PC Building Simulator on consoles. I didn't even know that. $7.99. But yeah, that's kind of hilarious to me. Axiom Verge, 60% off for $7.99. Another excellent Metroidvania game that really harkens back to old school Metroidvanias. It was done by one person, which I just find absolutely absurd because there's a lot of detail in that game. You know, it's a great Metroidvania, so check it out, especially if you're a fan of those older titles from like the Super Nintendo age. Soma is $2.99. Excellent deal for Soma. In my opinion, Frictional Games' best horror title that they've put out. Very, very atmospheric and engrossing game. Does a really good job engrossing you into that world. So yeah, definitely go check that out, especially at $3. Limbo, $2.49. You know, a lot of these deals are the standard cup of tea. Super Meat Boy, $2.99. That's a pretty good deal, actually. Super Meat Boy Forever is 35% off for $12.99. Would be nice to see that a little bit cheaper, but that's still fairly recent, all things considered. Hunting Simulator, Hunt Down, Blue Fire, Eldest Souls, which just dropped a little while ago. That's down to $14.99, so a quick discount on that. But that's going to do it for me. I'll look through the sale in its entirety and see what's up and what the best deals are. I just saw Patapon Remastered. 50% off for $7.49 on that is pretty good. I played the hell out of Patapon on the PSP. Patapon was my jam back in the day. But yeah, check that out if you have any interest in that. I think $7.49 is a pretty good price. One Step from Eden, that's 40% off for $11.99. If you want something in the gameplay style of Mega Man Battle Network, that's going to be right up your alley. But yeah, I'm keeping you guys here for way too long. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. You guys can always sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.